I would say the scenes that I had to be, I was raped twice in Star Trek, once in an episode and once in a movie, and I think as a woman, probably the hardest thing.
Go on, Marina, come on. That was it?
That's it. She asked what was the hardest episode, and I said, when I was raped, and I'm sure all the women can understand that that would be really hard to act, right? It's really emotional. Yeah, it's like pulling teeth up here tonight, honestly.
Shall I get it?
Yes.
Well, for me, I had done this episode. It was the one where I was it was kind of a Frankenstein story-ish. Old medieval town, me and a little girl. You remember that? What was that?
Was that last season?
No, was it?
Yeah, last season.
Who are you? No, I'm sorry. Didn't recognize, that's Patrick, right? Oh, Captain. Anyway, I was doing this episode, and we had this thing usually, particularly the last couple of years, where they really figured out how to do it, where one person would sort of carry a show, one or two people, and everybody else had an easy schedule. We'd do one day on the bridge together, and then the person who was featured would take the episode. And that was my episode. We did one day at the beginning with the whole cast, and then the rest of the schedule was just me and this little girl and whoever else was in the show. And the next episode following that, I received at maybe 10 o'clock at night on the last day of that episode, and the very next episode was called Masks, where I had to play 5 characters. And we were starting in the morning with me, playing 5 characters. I barely had time to read the script, much less figure out who these 5 characters were. And so we started the next day, and if you see the episode Masked, I think it's thank you. It's actually remarkable for some of the most preposterous acting ever put on the screen. Marina was laughing at me while I was doing it. So I was doing one of the characters. She's sitting across from me, laughing in my face while I'm trying to be heartbreaking. And then there was a moment at the very end, the very last day of that shoot, finally, was me and Patrick, 4 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. The crew was dead. They wanted us to finish so they could go home and go to sleep. And I had to wear a mask and be the goddess of the moon. And Patrick was sitting across from me off camera talking to me. Every word out of my mouth, he would burst out laughing. And the crew was getting more and more furious. And finally, they turned the camera around on him, and he had to wear a mask and be the god of the sun. And I could not get through a line of it with him. I laughed at everything he said. The crew hated us. We finished probably, a couple of months later. That was most difficult for me.
I don't remember having a difficult episode.